Today we will be looking at how to use WeVideo for online instruction. As many of you may already know, Richland 2 pays for a subscription to WeVideo for all of our teachers and students. The subscription grants us access to more features as well as a watermark-free final product. Today in this video, we will cover how WeVideo is organized, the different media options we can use, how to import, record, and narrate our own original media, how to edit the video, adding text and transitions, and finally exporting a video. Let's begin by logging into WeVideo. So when you log into WeVideo, you want to make sure that you log in using your school account so that you can access all of those paid for features. I always click this Google button right here. And depending on your browser, it may ask you which email account you would like to log in with. This is my only email account on this browser, so it takes me right to my dashboard. Up at the top, you will see several different options like dashboard, projects, media, and exports. And your dashboard is kind of like your home page. Right now, we're going to focus on projects so that we can create a new project. So WeVideo works with projects and then what's called edits. The project is kind of like a folder, and each edit is a video inside that folder. So let's create a new project. You can title this project whatever you would like. I will just title it Example Project. If you want, you can add a description, and then you should click Personal. You may occasionally work with other people on a collaborative video project, but for the most part, you will be working by yourself. So you will click Personal and then click Next. It will ask you if you want to import any media that you may have used for other projects. You can just click Next. And then you have a couple different ways that you can create a new video. You can either create a video by clicking this button, or I'll show you the other way you can do that. So once you've created a project, you can click Projects, double click into your example project you just created, and you can either click Start or click New Video Edit. There are several different templates you can choose from. I typically just begin with blank edit because that offers me the most freedom. So that's what I'm going to show you guys today. And then you click Start Editing. So one thing that I like about WeVideo is that it saves everything automatically, kind of like Google Docs. However, if you would like to save for your own peace of mind, you can always go over here to the top left corner, click these three lines for your main menu. This is where you can open things or go to settings, but you can also save. So the first thing I want to talk about is storyboard mode versus timeline mode. And I always work in timeline mode, so that's what you see down here. If you are a new user to WeVideo, yours is probably beginning you in storyboard mode, which looks like this. Storyboard is great for very basic uses of WeVideo, but for what I'm going to show you guys today, we're going to work in timeline mode because that gives us more freedom to be precise with our edits and more opportunities to really learn all the ins and outs of WeVideo. So to switch over to timeline mode, you go over to this menu, scroll down and click Switch to Timeline. So the timeline is built with layers that stack kind of like a cake. So your audio is a layer, and then you have your video one layer, which you'll use as your main layer, and then you can have more layers stacked on top of that. So you might only use one video layer, but if you want elements to appear on top of your video, like text or maybe an image, then you can use an additional video layer to do that, and we'll talk more about that later. You may need to zoom in or out as you're working on your video so that you can see things up close. The default is likely going to be zoomed all the way out, and you can see that from the beginning of my video to this line here is 1 minute of video. Here's 50 seconds, and here's 1 minute. I might need to get in a little bit closer to really cut things the way I want or move things around. So if you go to the bottom right corner, you can zoom in and out. So I'll show you that here. And that way you can get really up close. So now from here to here is only 3 seconds. That might be a little close for me, so I can zoom out a little bit more. So now we can see from here to here is only 5 seconds, so I can see things much more closely. If you ever need to add additional layers to your video, you can always go over here to this plus sign and add either a new video track or a new audio track. Up at the top, you'll notice several different tabs. These tabs are where you will locate media to put into your video. WeVideo will start you in the My Media tab. This is where everything that you create or upload will be stored. You can see that I have different things here in my media folder from previous projects. And what's cool is that your media is never deleted from this folder unless you choose to delete it yourself, which can be really useful if you are looking for something you've used before or if you plan to use the same things in multiple projects. Let's start with how to create or import media. You have 3 options in the My Media folder: import, record, and narrate. Let's begin with import, which is what you will use if you have files saved on your computer or in your Google Drive that you would like to use. So you click import and you can drag and drop media here. You can also import from different sites here, like Google Drive or even Dropbox. And I'm going to just get them from my computer. So you click browse to select. So once you have located the different files you want to use, a tip that I always recommend is to hold down the control button and click all of the images that you would like to include. So once I am good to go and I have everything selected that I want in my media folder, I can click open and they will all be dropped into my media folder so that I can use them in my video. The record and narrate options allow you to create content right here in WeVideo. The record option allows you to record your webcam or your screen or both. Those can be a great option if you would like to speak to students directly or if you want to walk them through a slideshow. So this option is very similar to Google Chrome extensions like Screencastify or Screencast-O-Matic. And then the narrate option allows you to record audio only, which can be a really fun option if you have images in mind that you would like to have on screen while you are speaking. Before we get to the other tabs up here at the top, let's take a look at editing the media that you either import or create. And this is where that zoom feature can come in really handy. So let me find a clip that I've used before, and we'll use that as an example. Okay, so anytime that you would like to add something to your video, all you need to do is click and drag it and drop it into place. And I'm building my video right here in video 1. So let me use this scroll bar at the bottom to take a look at my video. I'm going to zoom out a little bit so I can see things a little more clearly. So here's what my video clip looks like so far. And I might want to cut some things from this video clip. Maybe I made a mistake that I would like to cut out, or maybe I have some empty time that I would like to remove. So all you need to do to make cuts in your video is to click and drag this blue marker here and drag it to exactly where you want to make your first cut with scissors. And it's just like taking scissors to a piece of paper. So I want to snip this into right here between where I'm talking and where I start sharing my screen. So all I have to do is click scissors, and it hasn't deleted anything. It just made a little snip here. So now I've got 2 different clips instead of 1 long clip. Let's say that right here I made a mistake and I want to cut that out. I can make another snip here, and now I've got this clip right here with my mistake in it. And I can delete this clip completely. So I can go to this small menu option here and click the trash can, or I can also click backspace or delete on my keyboard. Now, once you have cut some things, you might need to move your clips around, especially if you have empty sections in your video like I do here. Empty sections like this will show up as black screen, which can be confusing for students. They might think that the video is over or that there's a mistake. So if you want to stick things together so you don't have blank space, all you have to do is click and drag and snap them next to each other. So now I don't have any empty space here. Now let's talk about adding text. You might want to add text either on its own or on top of a video clip. Adding text can be useful if you want to highlight specific vocabulary or instructions. So to add text, you go to the top and next to the My Media tab, you click the Text tab. And here we'll see lots of different options. They're organized into folders based on what kind of text file they are. So here we've got lots of different motion text examples here, and you can click them to preview what they'll look like. So you can see what these will look like here. We also have some static options. So these are pieces of text that do not move, they just stay in one place. We've also got some seasonal options. For example, right now we have a lot of graduation things happening here. And one thing that I really like is the callouts folder, where we have different text boxes and arrows that you can use. To add text to your video, you just click and drag it in place. So let's say I want text to be the only thing happening on my screen. I will drop it right into video 1. There we go. If I want text on top of, for example, the video clip of me talking, I can also choose that as an option. That's where those layers come into play. So I can click and drag this text and drop it into video 2, and now we can see in the preview it's on top of my video clip. This is a good time to talk about how to change the length of your media. So you might want to either shorten or lengthen an image or a piece of text to fit something else that's happening on screen. For example, if I want this text to be as long as that clip of me talking, I can click and drag the right side and stretch it out to fit. To edit the text, you can click on this pencil option or you can double click it. And you have a bunch of options for editing the text. You can change what the text actually says. You can change the font style here, bold, italics, underline. You can change the color. You can change the size, maybe make it either bigger or smaller. And what you can do over here on the preview is actually click and drag it and drop it into a different spot on the screen, like in the corner. Once you're done editing the text, you scroll down and click Save Changes. Something I love about WeVideo is that they offer stock media and audio clips for us to use as well. Using stock media can be especially fun if you record audio of yourself speaking, and that way you can put some fun images or video clips along with your narration. So let's take a look at that. To look at stock media, you go up to the top and next to My Media on the left side, you click Stock Media. Here we have a search bar where you can search for what you're looking for. For example, we could search students reading and get a bunch of different interesting pieces of stock video and images that we could use in our video. You can filter your options by video, images, or audio, and you can also refine your search here by looking for maybe some specific pieces of stock media. If there's a clip that you really like that you want to save for later, you can click the little heart and save it, and then click this heart here at any time and look at all of your favorite clips. So you might want to favorite clips that you will use all the time. Let's say that I want to insert a video clip here. I just click and drag it and drop it in. Let's say I want to add another one here. I can drop it here. I've got a couple of options because it doesn't fit. So that's something else I want to show you. I can either trim it to fit, which means it will cut the end part to make it fit into that space, or I can choose insert and push, which means it will push this clip here over to the right to make room for it. So I'm going to pick insert and push and keep the whole thing. If you would like to add some stock audio, there are also some options for that. Up at the top, if we scroll over to audio, you can see some different audio clips here that you can use. So we've got some free music. So you might want to use music maybe in the beginning or end of your video. You can also use sound effects, which are really neat. So these are organized into different folders here. For example, we've got an audience, we've got people walking and running, we've got all kinds of different sound effects. So let's say I want to use a sound effect here. So if I want to add audio, I just want to make sure that I drop it into an audio track. So I'll take this one, scroll down and drop it into audio. And just like my video clips and my pictures, I can click and drag this to move it around. I can cut sections of it that I don't want, and I can also drag it to shorten it if I would like to do that. We also have the option up top to add backgrounds. So this is what the background tab looks like. You can use these fun backgrounds behind text if you would like to. And something that I also think is fun is overlays, where you can add sort of like stickers, different images on top of your video. So if I wanted to add one of those, I could just drag it on in, and then it appears on top of my video. By going to the Transitions tab up at the top, you can see lots of different options from transitioning from one video clip or image to the next. If you click one, just like the text, you can preview what it will look like. Once you find one that you like, it's very easy to add them in between your pieces of media. You just want to click and drag it and make sure you drop it where those two pieces of media are touching. So that's what this looks like here. So you click and drag it, drop it, and it will fit right in the middle. Once you are finished with your video, it is time to export it. So up at the top in the right corner, we have the blue finish button. So we'll click that. We will come up with a title for our video, and then we will export it. So you have a couple of options here. You can change things like the thumbnail, and I always change my resolution from SD, which is standard quality, to HD, which is higher quality and better for online instruction. You can also choose where you want to save your video. This option defaults to saving it to WeVideo, but you can pick multiple options like Google Drive, or if you connect things like a YouTube account or a Dropbox account, you can also save them to those things. Then you click the blue export button and you wait for your video to process. And it might take a little while, especially for longer videos. The good news is that you do not have to keep WeVideo open while your video is processing. You are welcome to totally close out of it and then just come back later to see your processed video. So let's go back to the dashboard or our home page so that I can show you how to get there. Exports is where you will find all of your completed videos and any that are processing. So here are some videos that I've processed, and I can show you what those look like. Once you double click your video, you have a few different options here. You can edit the name or description, you can change the thumbnail, you can even delete it here. But you can also do really cool things like post it to Google Classroom, which is very convenient. You can also download the video and save it wherever you like your computer or Google Drive, and then you can share it with students by sharing the file directly with them. And then another thing you can do is, as long as this is a public video, you can share the link directly with students. So you just need to make sure that your privacy is public. Mine is currently public. I could make this private if I would like to, but I'll leave it as public with this unlocked symbol. And then I can share it to Facebook or Twitter, or I can copy the link directly. So once I click that share button, I can copy this link to my clipboard, and then I can paste it, say in an email or to Google Classroom or wherever I would like. So there you have it. Now you're ready to use WeVideo to enhance your online instruction. If you have any questions about WeVideo, there are tons of specific videos to help you at wevideo.com/academy. I also highly recommend talking to your school's technology learning coach so that you can brainstorm ideas about using WeVideo for your instruction. Thanks for watching.